Welcome back. I am Mary and this is the Painted Peach. Today I'm a part of Just Our Imagination playlist with Rustic and Lace DIY, Kathy Joe DIYs, and co-hosted by Craft Classy. In today's episode, we have to use paper clips, cardboard, and hair scrunchies. Here are my choices for those things. And let's get started. So I have this package that I got something in the mail. I'm just going to cut this cardboard up and get my surface using cardboard. Now I suggest using a box cutter. I don't know where anything is, you guys. I've been sick for a couple weeks now and I have not got a chance to straighten up since Christmas. And everything is a mess. So I'm using these scissors to cut my cardboard and it took an eternity. And it's not very safe. So once I get this all cut off of the rest of the package, I am going to cut the piece into a heart. Like I said, it took an eternity. And not to mention it's very cold in my studio. My heater stopped working and I never went and bought one. So there's that. So I'm just hand drawing one side of the heart and cutting it out with my same scissors that I'm struggling with before. And I'm just kind of bending that cardboard back as I cut so that it gets out of my way. Once I get this half all cut, I'm just going to make a little bit of a line going down in the middle. And then I'm going to bend it over so that I can draw the other side to match. And then I'm going to cut that side out. First thing done, check on cardboard. So now I'm just spraying my cardboard with a little bit of water. That is not Dawn spray, that is water in that bottle. I reuse those to put my water in for a spray bottle. I'm just using my scissors to kind of push some of it in between the lines, and then I'm just peeling it back. It doesn't have to all be peeled off. The look I'm going for, I want some of it to still be on there. Once I do that, I'm going to wipe off the excess water. I don't know why I sprayed the whole thing. I wasn't taking all of the paper off, but I did. So I have to dry everything really well before we move on to painting. I'm going to use apple red and black, and I'm going to add a little bit of black into my red and till I get the color I'm looking for. I'm looking for a little bit of a more burgundy color to match that paper that you see up there to the right. And I'm going to use this tiny brush for some reason to paint my whole heart this burgundy red. And then I'm going to grab some of that apple red too, you'll see, and add that in. Next, I'm getting a pink and some white, and I'm mixing another color, more of a light pink out of that hot pink. And then I'm going to add a little bit of that burgundy up at the top, and that's the color that we're going to use. We're just going to kind of dry brush that on to certain areas and then dry it just to give it a little bit of a contrast. Once everything's dry, I'm going to grab my paper and give it a rip. And I'm not really being precise. I'm just ripping it so that I have an uneven piece of paper with a rip to put on my heart. I'm going to get some Mod Podge out and put it all over my heart and then add my paper. Once I get my paper on there, I want to make sure that I get it the edges on there really well, so I lift up and add more Mod Podge. I didn't want to add the Mod Podge all over because I'm going to use some dark wax and sometimes it won't stick to the areas you put Mod Podge. So now I'm just turning it over and I'm cutting around where the heart shape is and the excess paper went, and now we have a little ripped piece to our heart. I'm using regular surface wax first, and I'm going all around the edges of the heart where I put the paper. And then I'm going to go in with my same brush and use my dark wax to go around the edges to kind of make it look more vintage and dirty it up some. You don't have to do this. You can totally skip this step. It's just something I like to do. I like this look. If you like more of the clean look, then by all means leave it that way. Also taking some and putting it over on my ripped area of my cardboard, going around all the edges to darken them up and give it a little bit more of a dingy look. Next, we're grabbing our scrunchies. I got 2 different kinds, and I'm just going to fold them over each other. One is smaller than the other, and it's going to go in the middle, and we're going to use this to create a flower. So simple as that for the scrunchies. So we're just going to use hot glue and add these onto our heart. Once I get the bottom one on there, I want to make sure that we have it all down. So I'm going to glue the top one to the bottom, and then we'll go all the way around here shortly. I do want to add something to the center of my flower, so I'm going to grab a pearl button that kind of looks like the pearls on there, but it's little mini pearls all into one, and I'm going to add that into the center of our flower. I just thought it went really well with the other pearls that are on that scrunchie. And this kind of looks like a rose to me, and we have used our scrunchie. Check. Now I'm grabbing my paper clips, and we are going to use these paper clips to create a stem for our flower, and we're also going to use them to make some leaves for the flower as well. So I'm just bending them out with my hands. You, of course, can use a jewelry tool to bend them. They are a little bit tough, and I do suggest if you have any kind of arthritis in your hands or anything like that. I have a thumb that locks up, so I should really be using some tools, but I'm going to be completely honest here and tell you I was not feeling like doing this, and I was trying to get myself out into the studio. I haven't been there since before Christmas, and between me getting sick, my dad getting sick, and all of this, I just haven't felt very creative. So I'm struggling to do this, and that's why I only have one project for this whole imagination playlist. So I'm just twisting that and bending it back, and we've got some leaves. And you could paint these like a light green or whatever, but I thought they looked good with this particular project, staying with the silver. So I'm just using some hot glue to glue them on. You, of course, can use whatever glue you would like. It's working really good, actually. I was kind of worried about it, but it actually works good with the cardboard. As I'm doing this part, I'm thinking about what am I going to add to the front of this to put a little bit more to it. So I grabbed out a wooden tag, and I got some dark wax, and I went all over the wooden tag just to darken it up and kind of go with the look of our project. I went around it with a little bit more dark on the edges. You can leave it the light wood if you'd like. I just thought it would look good with this project being a little bit grunged up. So I'm going to make sure that's good and dry, and then I'm going to get out just a regular old felt tip pen and draw or write on mine. You could do stamping. If you have beautiful lettering, go for it. You can paint it on there. I'm just going to do some regular old handwriting, and I'm going to put P.S. I love you on our tag. I'll be the first to admit that my handwriting is not the best, and I typically don't like to write mine out. I do like using stamps, but again, my studio is not, I just can't find anything, guys. I've really got to get in there, but I'm still struggling. So now I'm getting out my hole punch, and I'm putting 2 holes at the top, and we're actually going to use our paper clips again just to tie it into the rest of the project, I wanted to use the same kind of wire. So I'm going to take the paper clips and I'm going to make them completely opened up. And then I'm going to take a little wooden dowel and I'm going to wrap the paper clip around it to make it kind of swirly. I'm going to use my scissors to kind of bend it because I can't find any tools. And then we're just going to stick that right in there and make the little swirly part in the front. We're going to do that for both sides. Then we're just going to take a couple more of the paper clips and we are going to connect each of those together. So we're just going to like twist them around each other and make sure they're going to stay put. And we're going to do this to make our hanger. I was going to use some regular wire, but I thought, hey, I'm going to continue using the items that we needed to use, and if it works, then that would be great. So I'm kind of putting a little bend right here because when I do these hangers, I like to have a twist in there. This, of course, is not exactly like I wanted it, but it will do. And you could also paint these to be a little bit more grungy. I thought the silver kind of stood out, so I just went with it. From here, you could be adding some lace or even some buttons on there would be really pretty. But I just thought it was nice and simple, and I really love the way it turned out. Here it is, all finished up, and I just love the vintage feel to it. I really appreciate you watching today. Please check out my description for the link to the playlist, and make sure you check out those hosts as well. That is Rustic and Lace DIY, Kathy Jo DIYs, and Craft Classy. Again, thanks for watching, and as always, stay peachy.